My name is Claudia. I am 27 years old. I have a husband. His name is Stephen. He is 31 years old. We have one son. His name is Bob. He is 5 years old. Stephen is a good man. He works in an office. He works very hard for our family. Stephen leaves the house early in the morning. He comes back very late at night. Sometimes Bob is already asleep when Stephen gets home. Stephen is tired when he arrives. He eats dinner, watches television, and then he goes to sleep. I spend most of my time with Bob. We play games together. We eat dinner together at 6 o'clock. But our life is very lonely. Stephen is not here for dinner. I feel like I am raising Bob alone, even though I have a husband. Our marriage feels empty. Stephen and I do not talk much anymore. We talk about bills or about Bob's school. We do not talk about us. I miss feeling close to him. I feel like a friend, not a wife. I want Stephen to look at me and make me feel loved, but he is always working. I often sit alone in the living room after Bob is asleep. I wish my life was different. I wish Stephen was here with me. But Martin came to our house often. Martin was Stephen's friend. Martin came to see Stephen, but Stephen was usually still at work. So Martin stayed with me and my son, Bob. Martin was very different from Stephen. He always had time for us. Martin was a good friend to me too. He often brought toys for my son, Bob. Bob loved it when Martin came over. Martin also fixed things in the house that were broken. Stephen always said he would fix things, but he never had the time. Martin fixed a broken shelf in the kitchen. He never complained. Martin told me that I was a good mother. Stephen never said that anymore. With Martin, I felt safe. I felt seen. I knew it was wrong, but I could not stop the feeling. I was afraid because these feelings were for my husband's best friend. One evening, Martin came to our house. He wanted to see Stephen. My son Bob went to sleep early. I was happy to see Martin. Then the phone rang. It was Stephen. He said he was very sorry. He had to work late again. I felt sad. Martin looked sad for me. He knew how lonely I felt when Stephen was not home. Martin stayed in the living room while I went to the bathroom. I told Martin I needed to take a shower. I closed the door and turned on the water. Then I heard a loud sound. I looked up and saw water everywhere. A pipe had broken. I screamed. I did not know what to do. Martin heard me shout. He ran to the bathroom door and opened it. He saw the water running across the floor. We were both standing in deep, cold water. Martin used all his strength to turn the valve off. The noise stopped. Slowly, the water stopped running. We were both completely wet. My clothes stuck to my skin. Martin's hair was wet. We were very close to each other. Our hearts were beating fast. We looked into each other's eyes. We did not move away. Martin touched my face. Then he kissed me. That night, we stayed together. I slept with Stephen's best friend. For the first time in a long time, I felt alive. The next morning, I woke up alone. Martin was gone. He left very early. He did not say goodbye. We had been so close and now he was just gone. I felt guilty about Stephen. Stephen is my husband and Martin is his best friend. What we did was wrong. I looked at my phone many times. I waited for a message from Martin. I waited for a call, but none came. Why did he not call me? Did the kiss mean nothing to him? I thought about my marriage. I looked at my wedding ring. It felt heavy on my finger. I knew I should feel shame and guilt, but my heart wanted Martin. I wanted to see him again. I called Martin. He answered. Martin said he was busy all the time. He said he could not visit my house anymore, not even to see my son. I felt hurt. I decided I could not wait for him to call me back. I needed to know why he was acting this way, so I drove to his house. I rang his doorbell. Martin opened the door. He looked surprised. I walked inside before he could stop me. I said, "I like you very much, Martin. You make me feel alive." Martin did not look happy to hear this. He looked sad. Martin said Stephen was his best friend. He said he betrayed his friend. He said that what we did was very wrong. I walked close to him. I wanted him to forget everything and kiss me again. I put my arms around Martin and kissed him. For a moment, Martin held me tight, but then he stopped. He pushed me away from him. Martin looked scared. He moved away from the sofa. Martin told me he will tell Stephen the truth. He said he could not keep the secret. I drove back home. I hoped Martin would stop himself, but he did not. That evening, Martin called Stephen. He told Stephen everything. Stephen came home. His face was red and full of anger. He threw his keys onto the kitchen table. He shouted my name. He said, "Claudia, is it true?" I could not move. I could not speak. I just looked at him. Stephen said, "Tell me, Claudia, did you sleep with Martin?" I nodded my head. Stephen looked shocked. He was very angry. Stephen said I was selfish. He said I did not understand how hard he worked to make money for our family. Then I started to shout too. I said, "Yes, it is true, but you must know why. You are never here, Stephen. I am alone every single day. I feel like I am invisible in this house. Martin saw me. Martin talked to me. He made me feel safe when you did not." We were shouting very loud. Suddenly, we heard a cry. Our son was in his bed, but the loud fight woke him up. He came out of his room and stood in the hallway. He looked at us. He looked scared. He began to cry very loudly. Stephen and I looked at him and felt ashamed. Stephen picked up our son and held him tight. He looked at me. His anger was gone. Stephen said, "We cannot do this to him. We must stop fighting." I nodded. I knew I had hurt Stephen, but I had hurt our son even more. Stephen looked at me with sad eyes. He said, "We will try again. We will try to fix our marriage for our son." Tears filled my eyes. I said yes. After the fight, Stephen told me he would stop working late. He promised to come home early every day after work. Stephen broke his friendship with Martin. Stephen told me that Martin could not be in our lives anymore. I understood why he did this. Stephen tried hard to become a better father and a better husband. He helped our son with his homework. He cooked dinner for us. But Stephen and I still felt cold to each other. He did not trust me at all. I could see the hurt in Stephen's eyes when he looked at me. I wanted to tell him I was sorry, but the words felt empty. We acted like a happy family when our son was watching. We smiled for him, but when he went to bed, the silence returned. Stephen and I did not touch each other. We did not speak about what happened. We hoped that maybe with time, the pain would go away. Life is quiet now. Stephen comes home early and we try to be a family. I do my duties every day. I cook dinner. I clean the house. I take care of our son. I am a wife and a mother. This is the life I chose, but my heart feels heavy. I know Stephen tries very hard. I try hard too. We talk more now, but the trust is still broken. We are working on our marriage for our little son. Martin is gone from our lives forever. Sometimes I think about him. I miss his laugh. I miss the way Martin looked at me. I know I cannot see him again. I put my family first. I chose my husband and my son. This decision was hard. My life is safe now. I look at my son and I know I did the right thing for him. But I carry the memory of that night with Martin inside me always. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.